Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Rosalio Torrebiartes here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into the drama surrounding High Guardian Spice. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, just sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. So let's get started. High Guardian Spice is a Western fantasy anime that just announced in August 2018 and released in October 26, 2021 on the Crunchyroll streaming platform. It follows the story of 4 young girls, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme, all named in reference to the English folk ballad Scarborough Fair, as they study at the prestigious High Guardian Academy to become guardians of West City, protecting the town from evil. Along the way, the girls face all the conflicts of regular high school life, and then some, with powerful villains lurking in every corner, dark magic seeping from the shadows, and the mother long gone missing. This party of wannabe guardians are always working on to save the day. And, of course, get good grades. The show boasted queer representation in an all-female writing room. In one of its release trailers, it was noted that one of the crucial aspects of High Guardian Spice was the diversity in both of its cast of characters and production team. There was a strong emphasis on LGBTQ+ representation, with the director being a transgender man himself. There was a distinct intention in High Guardian Spice to focus on letting the voices of communities often unseen in animated media be heard. High Guardian Spice was also meant to be the first Crunchyroll original animated series. This will have made High Guardian Spice a vital step forward in gamering support for the Crunchyroll originals. It will have served as a bridge from regular anime to new, exclusive content. However, due to several production delays, High Guardian Spice was unable to make it to Original's deadline and lost its stake in being the first ever Crunchyroll original. High Guardian Spice wanted to tell a cute story. High Guardian Spice wanted to bring attention back to 2D animation. High Guardian Spice wanted to be progressive, the first of its kind both in production and as a pioneer of Crunchyroll exclusive series. But it wasn't. Ranking 1.3 out of 10 stars on IMDb, and a mere 2.3 out of 5 of its own streaming service, Crunchyroll. High Guardian Spice was a major flop, receiving a significant backlash and poor reviews from all corners of the internet. And anime watchers everywhere were left to wonder where everything went wrong. To figure out why High Guardian Spice performed as poorly as it did, first you've got to look where it all started, the series reveal. Although there was a general air of positivity about the show, many pointed out the flaws in High Guardian Spice's design. For starters, High Guardian Spice was technically not an anime. Although it borrowed from Japanese styles of 2D animation, it was an American show, and people were hesitant about it being marketed, or at least pushed as an anime or anime-esque show. In addition, a subsection of Crunchyroll Premium customers were also concerned about Crunchyroll originals as a whole. Some of the people who paid for Crunchyroll memberships and supported the platform did so in hopes of having new anime added to Crunchyroll. By instead using some of that revenue to fund original shows like High Guardian Spice, the platform drew criticism and broke some viewers' trust. However, there was still some hope for the show. High Guardian Spice undoubtedly had some talent behind it. And even if it wasn't technically an anime, it did do well in blending Western and Eastern styles of animation. As a result, some Crunchyroll viewers were hopeful and decided to look past its announcements trailers to give the show a second shot. High Guardian Spice fell out of the limelight as its premiere was pushed further and further back. When its former release date rolled around in 2019, and there were still no updates regarding the series production, people began to ask questions. Was High Guardian Spice cancelled? Many have speculated that this radio silence and mysterious delays were caused by a backlash High Guardian Spice received for its initial release trailers. Beyond concerns regarding of how the show was funded and if it really had a place in Crunchyroll, viewers critique how its announcements focus more on its team than the series. People thought that High Guardian Spice seemed artificial and wanted to gather support not by having good content but by having queer and feminist representation. However, these concerns about how the show's release was short-lived. High Guardian Spice was eventually released on October 26, 2021. Its first season was completed with 12 full episodes, each spanning roughly 22 minutes, and the internet caught a glimpse of it, and the show immediately fell back under fire. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. With the service Skillshare provides, you can get access to many in-depth tutorial videos on basically anything you want to learn. Each class that they have is bound to help you with your creative endeavors. Do you want to learn how to make videos like this one? Do you want to learn how to write scripts or edit audios? Skillshare has you covered. And with our link, you can have a 14 free day trial. But seriously guys, I've actually tried Skillshare and I absolutely love it. So what are you waiting for? Click the link now and get 14 days worth of classes free. Link in the description below. You see, one major flaw with High Garden Spice's production is that it was significantly low budget under United States animation standards. With all the negative reputation that the series had gamered pre-release, it was crucial for High Garden Spice to break the past with its stigma and prove itself through quality animation and storytelling. And even though High Garden Spice was ambitious, even though it tried to string together a groundbreaking show, poor production and little financial support made it impossible for High Garden Spice to do that. The show is riddled with visual errors, from design inconsistencies to blatant perspective issues. High Garden Spice suffers from an impossible number of whoopsie-daisies that's built from its storyboarding to its animation, and they're hard to miss. Shading disappears and reappears on the characters. Line art quality inappropriate changes size and grows pixelated. Stock images are improperly blended to throw onto backgrounds. The list, unfortunately, goes on. One of the more glaring problems in High Garden Spice lies in its sizing. Backgrounds are often drawn with far larger assets than necessary due to perspective issues. And although these errors aren't too noticeable at first, when the shot changes, they come at the viewer almost aggressively. As a result, characters do not line up correctly with the objects they interact with. And during perspective changes, they will not be drawn at a consistent size. This animation mistake results in characters shrinking and growing throughout the episode scenes. There are also animation cleanup failures in High Garden Spice. Every so often, half-erased notes left for animators on frames can be found in the final product. In addition, characters will sometimes have erroneous coloring, or copy-pasted coloring that does not fully account for the line art of new animation frame, leaving transparent specks in the final product. High Garden Spice's audio doesn't fare any better than its appearance. Despite all of them being talented in their own right, the majority of High Garden Spice's vocal cast was new voice actors with little experience of prominent roles. Ray Rodriguez was a first-time director. Little direction, a tight budget, and bare experience compounded into inadequate audio all around. Microphone quality varies across scenes noticeably. This issue expands through the series' intro and outro themes. Autotune is set heavily onto the singer's voice and can be heard waving throughout the both songs. Beyond sound, the two pieces have generic lyrics and visuals. However, some have commended High Garden Spice for its reference to the anime series Azumanga Daigo in the first shots of its outro. Poor writing only amplifies High Garden Spice's lacking animation and sound design. Many viewers have complained about the series' roundabout storytelling and disconnected dialogue, with character interactions sometimes not making sense and speech being overused for exposition. High Garden Spice can be hard to follow. Characters will sometimes contradict both themselves and the pre-established rules of the fantasy world they inhabit through speech, and often, story elements will be forgotten and never mentioned again after an episode or two. These script problems can also be seen through High Garden Spice's pacing. Despite having a lean 12 episodes to thread together a cohesive storyline and characters, High Garden Spice wastes its screen time by pumping its episodes full of filler. As a result, people have complained that the show seems to drag on, either by attempting world building that is never seen again or simply by spending too much time on small events. And then, of course, there's the representation. Arguably, one of the most critiqued aspects of the show. High Garden Spice's attempts to explore its characters' gender's identity and sexualities often fall flat on their faces. While some characters are positively written as open about their identities and positions in the LGBTQ+ community, they are often reduced to said identities and given little opportunity to develop further. As seen in episode 1, when Rosemary, the main protagonist of the series, greets her aunts. In a controversial scene from Highgarden Spice, Professor Caraway, one of the teachers at Highgarden Spice Academy, is revealed to be transgender. Once he informs Rosemary of his transition, the natural flow of the conversation is paused for Caraway to give an awkward explanation of what it means to be transgender. Members of the transgender community have criticized this interaction as forced and belittling of the transgender identity as a whole. However, this is not to say that Highgarden Spice is entirely devoid of positive LGBTQ+ representation. Several reviewers from the LGBTQ+ focus outlets praised the show as unafraid to recognize characters' queer identities, bringing LGBTQ+ positivity onto Crunchyroll. One of the side characters, a strawberry-haired guardian in training named Snapdragon, or Snap for short, is a male to female transgender. Although many were upset at how transgender representation was handled with Professor Caraway, Snapdragon has been commended as a form of transgender representation due to the gradual realization of identity and transition. Though, this is not to say that Highgarden Spice's portrayal of the transgender identity through Snapdragon is not without its flaws. By mishandling representation, exhibiting poor writing, showcasing many animation mishaps, and lacking proper sound design, Highgarden Spice quickly lost the court of public opinion. Upon its release, hundreds flocked to YouTube to create rants against the series, protesting both against the show itself and against Crunchyroll for allowing such a low-budget series to happen. Despite these flaws, despite its awkward initial announcement, is Highgarden Spice a passable series? Ultimately, the beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Although Highgarden Spice is not the most high quality of the shows, it can still be enjoyed. Some consider the series to be mildly offensive and careless, but Highgarden Spice does actually have a fanbase. A subreddit dedicated to the show is currently active and appears to have a positive community. Some fans of Highgarden Spice post digital art of the characters and homepage to the series. The show does, admittedly, have a charm and passion behind it. Highgarden Spice had clear vision of what it wanted to accomplish. It simply lacked the means to get there. It was a new studio's first attempt at a production, not to mention almost the first Crunchyroll original. It was a stumbling block to progress, and took the brunt of that blow. The Highgarden Spice controversy is simply put, complex. Today we've discussed many of the factors that led to the downfall of Highgarden Spice, its announcements, its writing, animation, and ill-handled representation. Today, Highgarden Spice can still be found in the Crunchyroll streaming platform. And although the story did not wildly wrap up its 12-episode run, it does not seem likely that this series will receive a second season. However, there has been some demands for Highgarden Spice's episodes to be released, and with Crunchyroll silent, who knows what the future will bring. In my opinion, Highgarden Spice is far from the best series out there. It has many errors, and the pacing makes it difficult to keep up with. But hey, just because I'm not a fan of the show doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. If you're a fan of Highgarden Spice, by all means, continue to watch the series. Props to you for liking and withstanding the controversy surrounding to discover something you genuinely love. What do you think? If you've seen Highgarden Spice, leave a comment down below. Was the stigma around the show well deserved? Or is it a redeemable series? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in this information. Thus far, I really hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood of some great storytelling, We the Celestials have got you covered. Our We the Celestials My Hero Academia and Naruto What If channels retell the stories for the next saved anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in this production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend an invitation to join our team. The only caveat is being that we only accept members from 16 and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking forward for new members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you for watching and have a great day.